This is Littlejohn United Methodist Church in Caldwell County, North Carolina. And I'm going to take us on a little tour of some of our ancestors' final resting places. This church was set up about 1775 by land given by the Littlejohns, by Reverend Littlejohn. And it became a Methodist church in 1789. So this cemetery here is over 200 years old. And if you look down this road, lots and lots of our ancestors are in this old part of the cemetery. And here is our 5th great-grandfather, Adam Setzer, who fought in the American Revolution. And they had a bit of a problem proving that. His son kept trying to prove it, and they said they could not give him a pension because they couldn't find proof that he had served 6 months. But one of his sons kept after it, and they found 2 documents that, sure enough, in I think it was like March 1784 and October 1784, he had been paid for his service. This is his wife, Elizabeth Arney. And there's David Setzer. And so if we switch on around here to stuff that's a bit newer, we come to the Flemings. Now the Flemings and the Setzers intermarried. So this little stone here is to Robert Fleming, who is our 4th great-grandfather. And I suspect his wife is buried somewhere. This is his family. And he and his father and his grandfather owned land over on Corponing Bridge Road. And when he died, there's Mary Fleming. This is very interesting. In his will, he left his land to James Fleming if he would take care of John. Apparently, John was afflicted in some way. So that's our 4th great-grandfather and his family. So going back a couple of rows, we'll go to another 5th great-grandfather, who is Robert McCall, who was born in County Antrim, Ireland, and immigrated over here to Pennsylvania and then down to North Carolina. And this is his wife, Elizabeth. Her last name was Aiken, Elizabeth Aiken, and she was also born in County Antrim, Ireland. John Shell was their granddaughter's husband, I believe. I may be wrong, but anyway, she is not buried here. She's, the way they tie in is their granddaughter married Matthew Setzer. And here is Margaret's grave, way back over here. Wife of John Shell. I guess they ran out of room on that row. And then if you go back onto the next row, you'll see one of Adam Setzer's sons. And I'm just including him because he's kind of interesting. Jacob. And one reason that this Jacob, who I guess was named for his grandfather, he married Jemima Boone, who was Daniel Boone's grandniece. So all these folks back here in this whole part of the cemetery are probably connected to us by blood or by marriage.